We are recording. I'm recording the audio. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 862. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. Please don't forget to visit my YouTube page where I have the video for all the shows, and that's just youtube.com/Michael Smith MTS. And while you're there, if you haven't already, please click subscribe. I really appreciate it. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call. If you're an IT professional or an MSP, and if you don't know what MSPs are, that's managed service provider. And I consider my company a managed service provider for small businesses. They provide unattended and on-demand remote access. You can try it free by clicking on the link on my website at miketechshow.com. Don't forget to use the promo code MikeTechShow for your free 15-day trial. You can just go directly to instanthousecall.com. Try it out. You can transfer files. The new version, when you connect, if the remote person has 3 screens, you will get 3 separate windows where you can just easily switch between. Very simple to use. Check it out. Instant House Call. This show is also brought to you by MagnusBox. This is the best online backup software service that you can use for your customers. Your customers' data is the most important thing that is under your care. This is why you need a reliable backup. You can become a partner. You can test it out. Just go into magnusbox.com, request a demo. You'll have all the same features as full partners have. It works for all versions of Windows, Windows Server, Linux, Synology, Office 365, SharePoint. You name it, they can back it up. You want to become a partner. And if you mention that you heard it here on the Mike Tech Show, you'll get $100 off your first bill, and you'll have free white labeling and the platform fee half price for the first 3 months. And if you're already a partner, you're like, geez, that's a great deal. What can I, how can I benefit from that? Well, that's easy. If you recommend another partner, you will get $100 off your bill, your next bill, and they will get $100 off. What a great way to start out. Check them out. MagnusBox. Go to magnusbox.com. All right. Lot to talk about for tonight's show. And still battling a cough. So you have to pardon me every now and then. Still troubled by little nagging cough I can't get rid of. This has been an incredibly busy week. Son Ryan was down visiting me. Just went back this morning. Drove him to the airport. This week truly defined baseball and music. We were at the Innings Festival on Saturday. That's a 2-day festival, but we only went one day. We got tickets for. So we got to see Japanese breakfast, the Weezer, Pitbull. And yes, Pitbull was entertaining. And of course, Imagine Dragons, they were the headliner. And we had a tremendous time. And we were there for over 12 hours. And it was exhausting, but a lot of fun. Then we got up and we had a Phillies game on Sunday. Then Monday night, a secret sessions, and I was playing a few of the songs that I recorded from the Revivalists at a very small venue. We even won a meet and greet and just had a tremendous time. And then yesterday we were at another Phillies game, this time on the road in St. Petersburg, Florida, the Tropicana Field. So my point, every March is going to be challenging to do the podcast because I'm going to be wore out. I'm trying to take care of clients. So I'm literally, the minute I get home, I am back to the house here. I'm doing work. And that happened yesterday, and got a lot of work done for some clients where I had some accounts I had to create. I had to just catch up on so much. And that's, I guess I'm mentioning that because every March it's spring training. It's why I'm here. Excuse me. I'm going to be doing a lot of baseball games. The Innings Festival is every March. They always have great headliners. I'm going to have family visiting, hopefully some friends coming down back and forth throughout March, attending Phillies games with me. So doing that and then trying to work the podcasts in, it's going to be difficult, but we're doing it. And I even thought that it was going to be a challenge doing tonight's show, but I was able to get a little rest. A client canceled that was going to be a very big project this afternoon, and they were upset that they canceled, but I was not. I was like, I needed a little break, so I didn't mind that. Just a lot of work, and I'm going to get into that as we hit the topics. So I want to follow up on the mental health issues that I was talking about last week. And this was an email that from Terry. And Terry, thank you so much. And I'm just going to summarize. One of the things that he mentioned, and this is really from the 70s, and I'm going to have a link to this. I've actually did a term paper on this my senior year of high school, and it's transcendental meditation. You don't hear that a lot anymore. And this is not yoga. It doesn't focus on breathing like other forms of meditation. Instead, it encourages a restful state of mind beyond thinking. So transcendental meditation helps alleviate stress in college students. And while another found it helpful, it reduces blood pressure, anxiety, depression, and anger. So as we talk about mental health, Terry, thank you for reminding me of transcendental meditation. So there's another interesting link here from the New York Times. Breathing and breathing techniques. Very, very important. And as everybody goes through different things, it can't help to have a couple more websites and a couple more topics to explore if it can help you. And if it can help you not be so stressful, not be anxious. And these things can help you. You know, maybe it's exercise. Maybe it is yoga. Maybe it's just, swimming. You got to find your outlet and the things that can help give you balance and center you. So it's very important. And any chance I get, I will be mentioning things on this. So now, hold on. Need some water here. All right. Going to be a lot of editing. All right. With those two links, now let's move on to stories from the trenches a little bit. So I have a user that has Windows systems, Mac systems, predominantly Mac, and a Synology. And they buy a lot of drives where they transfer all their photos. This is a studio. And what they do is take the external drive that they moved all the files, connect it to the Synology. They've been having trouble. And I found what I believe is the source. And it's when you buy a drive, an external drive, you don't know what format it's going to be. So I sent them instructions on how to format drives that are EXFAT. That is extensible file allocation table. And I have a wiki link for EXFAT. And this is one of the best formats that you can use for having a drive that has to connect to multiple operating systems. And it's funny, this file system was introduced by Microsoft in 2006 and optimized for flash memory, such as USB flash drives and SD cards. So take a look at this. I think some drives do come formatted like that, but this is going to take care of, I think, a lot of my clients' problems. So I wanted to make sure that they start formatting that. I have another computer that I have to order tonight. I ordered one last night, had to order a few monitors. We are seeing an uptick of new hires. Really glad to do that. And, nice to see some of our clients doing well. I mean, that's what we want all of our clients to succeed. So it's really nice getting a phone call saying, hey, I need a computer. Hey, I need, more monitors. I need a laptop. So this week, seeing a big uptick in hardware that I've been ordering. So wanted to share that. Client accidentally deleted a year's worth of email and didn't realize it. So I got the call saying, Mike, take a look at my inbox. And I look at his inbox, and he had mail from that morning, and then no mail for all 2023 and most of 2022. And then you only see the beginning of 2022 and 2021. So this is someone who just never empties or cleans up his inbox. And I had to start looking for it. I was like, well, let's see what happened. He has no idea how, but I looked in the deleted items and I found all of his mail. So moved it back to the inbox. They are Microsoft hosted email. Now that takes time to sync. So I said, you got to let things settle down. Now that we moved it from deleted to the inbox, it's going to take some time to sync. Keep Outlook on and open for the rest of the day and at night, because it's got to sync. When you move big chunks of files like that and you're an online host, yeah, you may see the results real quick in Outlook, but that stuff has to sync. So you want to give it time. Today, just before I went live tonight, client called me with a Zoom issue. And I was like, He needed a new sign-in for Zoom because he wanted to stop using the free version. And when he tried to uninstall Zoom, it didn't uninstall. Or at least every time he tried to install Zoom again, there were issues. And he would see these errors every time he tried to uninstall. I said, let's stop. That's why he called me. He says, I tried to fix this on my own, Mike. So what can you do? And I said, I got the answer, and it's Revo Uninstall Portable. Always go to that. There was Zoom. It tries to do the uninstall first, and it errored. So now you continue. You don't let that stop you. You continue where you do a moderate, where it'll search for all the registry entries and all those little directories that never get uninstalled. That's why I love Revo. I deleted them. We installed the Zoom, and he was able to register with the new account that he wanted to set up. Piece of cake. So that's not even in my notes. That was just literally before the show. So there's been a lot of things like that happening over the last couple weeks, and some of them were pretty fast. Here's another one from today. Just made me think of this. Someone wanted to add PNG pictures to an Excel spreadsheet, and they were having troubles. And I don't do this often, so I was like, well, let me try. I remoted in, just instant house call, connect it right in, because I have unattended access. And the first thing I did was open up a fresh Excel spreadsheet and figured out, well, how are we going to import the PNGs? And it's not that bad. You just can insert a picture and then point to the PNG files, and they went right in. So once we did that, I showed the user, I said, now bring up the spreadsheet that you're working on, and there's a ton of tabs. And one of the first things when I log into this user, they have hundreds of things open. I mean, they might have 20, 30 Word documents, 20 spreadsheets. I've tried to warn them all the time. And, I said, look, there are limits, to what you can do. But one of the tricks I always have to tell the end user as I'm remoting in, I said, hit the Windows key between Control-Alt and the letter M at the same time. This is the one key combination that's embedded for me to work. And my son does the same thing. It minimizes every window. No matter if it's Windows 10, this was Windows 11, you just hit that Windows M, bang, everything will minimize. And now I start from a clean slate as I'm working with the user. So just keep that in mind. It was something that I figured I would mention. So I've been getting a lot of things that I haven't even been taking notes on that have just been these quick fixes. Just, very, very quick. I'm still going through mail migrations as SureWeb moves from 2013 Exchange servers to 2016 and 2019 because 2013 is coming off support, end of life. So I have a bigger migration tomorrow with one of our clients. Tomorrow should be the final day where everything should be done. That means I got to go in and make all the DNS changes. And then anybody that has a mobile phone, we got to walk them through the website change. And then that should be pretty much it. So, let's see what else. Cloud storage. And I would love opinions on this. My client, who's a photographer, and there's a couple photographers actually that we work with, where the one uses the Synology, this photographer uses just the MacBooks and external drives, and they take so many pictures. I can't believe how many like SD cards they have that they never delete. They will never, ever delete a picture from an SD card. So they filed, they have literally several hundred SD cards. Now, all these pictures are across multiple external drives. Trying to get a handle on this. And my son, Ryan, who photographs bands, he doesn't do that for a living. He just does that on the side. He says, I'm using Adobe Lightroom and I'm using the storage. So we had a conversation, and just for comparison, I looked at, okay, this person uses Adobe Lightroom, so how much is it? Well, it's $9.99 per month per terabyte. So you figure that's $10. If you have 20 terabytes, that's going to be $200. So now I looked at the same on Amazon S3 pricing. And if you have 20 terabytes a month, it's 0.023 cents per gig. That comes out to $460 per month. So I was wondering, I thought, is the Amazon S3 going to be a little cheaper? But I think the better solution for them is to start using just to get going in the integration into Adobe Lightroom with Adobe from the cloud offering. And that's my recommendation for going forward. And let's see what happens. And what I'm really trying to do also is get my son Ryan involved in training the user how to do that and make that happen, because that's exactly what he's doing. And I was like, this is perfect. So I'll keep you posted on that. Boys, I'm talking about a lot of things. I'm going to go through this pretty fast, but the links are going to be in the show notes. Remember that. This is, and I forget, someone emailed me, organizing, your digital life, really. And this isn't totally your digital life, because I have more to contribute and talk about for that. But this is free tech tools for staying organized. As I was reading my digital copy of the latest issue of PC World, this is one of their topics. And it's 5 free tools. They do have paid versions. And I want to talk about them. So just for a minute, I haven't gotten into it, but I definitely am going to have all of these links in the show notes. One of them is Tweak Calendar. That's the first one. And Tweak Calendar, it's a minimal weekly planner and to-do list app. Okay. Notion. I know I've talked about Notion. And this is your wiki, your docs and projects, and organizing them all together. I know I've talked about this in the past. I don't use it, but again, something you should really take a look at. 9 to 5 Google. How to set up a shopping list on Google Assistant using Keep Notes. So I thought, okay, this is interesting for creating a shopping list. And I'm always having, I do not use Google Assistant. So I'm more, in the Apple world and more looking for utilities and things that work, with my iPhone. But this is something that you definitely want to take a look at. This is interesting. Raindrop. Organizing your bookmarks. This is the one I'm going to focus on. There's a browser extension and there's the desktop app they have for Mac, Windows, and Linux. And I'm like, I am there. I need a better way to organize the massive amount of bookmarks that I always have, and I'm always putting together, for shows and for just everything. They have a mobile app for your iPhone and for Android. So let's look at pricing for a minute here. It's free for unlimited bookmarks, unlimited collections. The big thing for me, unlimited devices. That's nice. But here you go. For the yearly, the Pro yearly, $28. that doesn't sound too bad for a whole year. I'm going to check it out, beat it up, play with it, and then see if it's worthy of everything that's in free. But now you have full text search, a permanent library, nested collections. Boy, that sounds like me already. Annotations. Now, I don't annotate but to annotate bookmarks, that's kind of interesting. Duplicate and broken links finder, automatic backups, upload 10 gigs of files per month. So something to look at. I would absolutely say, hey, look at the free version first and then take it from there. So there's another topic, and I like this. I use this all the time, and I already muted my Echo Show here for the as I do my show. There is the reminders. Sometimes I forget. Did you ever put that pizza in the oven, or you're baking something or reheating something and you need the reminder? Because I'll get distracted. So use Alexa. Whatever you have for your digital assistant in your home or office, make sure to use the reminder that's built in there. So you can say, hey, Alexa, remind me to check the oven in 20 minutes. And she'll respond that she's got it. And in 20 minutes, she'll remind you. So don't forget to use that. I have an Echo Show or an Echo in every room of my house here and in Pennsylvania. So why not take advantage of things like that, where I'm normally doing it for the music and news and other things. So let's take it. Don't forget what's in front of you and take advantage of that. Crocodile in the chat says, I think someone recommended I think it's Backblaze for cloud storage, and they have a 1 terabyte for $5 per month. I will look into that. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. There is one more link that I wanted to cover, because I wanted to cover this for a couple weeks, and it is the best apps for Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay has made some really nice improvements on the last updates. I have been very, very happy at that. And you know what? Since I'm a baseball fan, I'm going to talk about that. They have made great changes for baseball for the MLB app, which I have. And they talk about, there's MLB, they talk about the browser Brave, Overcast, Waze now supported. So this is a nice link from Apple Insider. And I came across this because they also talk about the upcoming new version of Apple CarPlay that's going to be coming out for some of the newer cars. And they have relationships with some of the higher end cars, and it's going to take advantage of the screen better. I will say this, on my Apple CarPlay, I'm listening to the app 97X. I have instructions and I have other things happening. And like my phone, there's now a button that you can hit and you can adjust what's going to display. And it had my directions, for the map in like a third of the screen. And then it had my turn by turn in the upper right, and then it had what it was playing for music in the lower. And I was like, wow. So they're really making some nice improvements. I really love Apple CarPlay. So I wanted to mention that. And of course, that link is going to be in the show notes, all the links that I've talked about. I've already put together the notes so I can easily cut and paste them as I'm building my, the page and the update for MikeTechShow.com. I've been adding a direct link from the show on YouTube. So I have to go back and do that because the YouTube posting happens before all of my notes are done. And then once that's posted, then I got to go back and I just add that one link, and that's easy to do. And I understand why everybody wanted that. So, because I was even looking at one of my shows and I was just, okay, I'm going to just pretend I'm a regular listener. And I was like, yeah, I got to go all the way back to my tech show and then scroll down to that show I'm looking at. Okay, I get it. So, link to the show notes is important. So sometimes I have to be hit over the head, before it takes. So, but it eventually does. That is it for tonight. And hopefully, you've gotten something out of the show here. I covered a wide range of things, organizing, some solutions with some in the trenches. Hey, maybe the TM or the breathing exercises. Hey, check them out. Can't hurt. Might help. That's it. See everybody back here, same time, same channel next week. Bye-bye.